Hello gamers, welcome to Number Factoring Game. This is the game I found on jetpunk.com. I will leave the link in the video description. So if you want to try it yourself, you can check it out there. So let's read the rules, see what this game is all about. It says Number Factoring Game. This is an old math exercise often called the taxman. Here's how it works. Pick a number from the board in a black circle. So basically we have some board of 50 numbers and only one is not in circle. So we can select numbers only that are in circle. All right. You get the value of that number shown in green. Okay, so we do get any number we can select here. If we select it, we get a score of that. All right. Your opponent, the taxman, gets all the factors of that number that remain on the board, shown in red. All right, so basically we cycle turns. I play one, I select one number, he selects another, and let's see what else happens. So your opponent gets all the factors of that number that remain on the board. So basically, when I select a number, I get that value of that number as my score, and my opponent, the taxman, gets all the factors of the board, and he gets to choose another number in his turn. But I don't get all the factors. That's the problem. He gets to keep all the factors, and that's how it continues in cycle until there's no number on the board left. When no more numbers remain that have factors, the taxman gets all of those too. I think you can beat the taxman, start by clicking number. All right. So the thing is, if you start this game, you may think like, okay, but if I select a number, I will get the value of that number for my score. So it's just smart to go with the highest number. If I select 50, I get score of 50, and there's no point selecting a lower number. And you start going with that. So let's go with that dumb strategy. I will call it dumb because it will not work. I will show you. So let's go with that. So you just select every turn, you select the highest number available here. You don't care what he takes, what he does. You just go straight up here and you select all the numbers. And what happens is, if you see on the board now, he took every single of these numbers, even though you went from the highest to lowest, and he took every single one on the bottom end, but also some here that are in the red. And how he took those is there because they didn't have any factors available. You will need to take a little time to think about the rules here and realize what happens after every turn. So I will restart the game so I can show you. We'll play in my way how I beat the game, and we'll show you why my strategy worked. Hopefully you will understand. We'll walk you through the strategy one step at a time. So my reasoning is, let's select the highest number, but the one that keeps the least number of factors. Let's select the highest number that has the least number of factors. So the thing is, I would select 49 if I will go with that reasoning. But the thing is, 49 will have 7, and that's not the best idea, to be honest. So 47 is actually a prime number, and it will have 1 only, and 47 is factors. So let's begin with the highest factor. So if let's go and select the 47. So as you can see, what happened is 47 highest factor is 1 and 47, but there are other prime numbers as well. If I would select, for example, 43, I would get a score of 43, but also 47 would be a prime number, so there's no more factors remaining, so I would not be able to select 47. Same goes for 13, for example. If I would select 14, sorry, 13, then 47 will not be available, and also 43. So it's better to start with the highest prime number. So that's the first step. Select the highest prime number. There's no other logic to that except if you go with any prime number, it's only one in that prime number, and it's just better to go with the highest value one. All right, so we did our turn. Now the computer here does his stuff, what he wants. He selects one, and it's up to me to choose the second number I want to choose. So the thing is, if I go with logic to keep selecting the highest number, I would select 50, but if I go a little strategic, I would say, okay, we eliminated all the prime numbers, and let's select the highest number that has only one or two factors that are low factors, so that are between, let's say, 1 to 10, that is as low as possible. So it's not divisible by 12, for example, or 14, like 48 is here. Sorry, not this one, but this one. So, for example, if I would select 48, 12 would be a factor of it, but 49 will not have 12 as factor, and also 50. Yeah, 50 would not have that. So if I will go 48, I will lose this 12, but not if I go with 49 and 50. And 50 would lose me a lot of these factors as well. 49 will not. 49 doesn't have many factors to lose. So I will choose to select this one. There we go. So as you can see, I didn't lose many of these factors. I only lost 7. And that's the key here. Just look to lose as little as possible of these factors after every single turn, and try to lose in this of the lowest numbers. In this, you can lose like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not, it doesn't have to be only 7 here. So let's see what other strategy we can apply here. If I go with this strategy, I would look again to 50, 48, maybe 46. But the thing is, all of these numbers will lose me a lot of these factors. 45 also, 44, 42 as well, 40. But maybe 39 will not lose me much. But the thing is, it will lose me 13, for example. So I would say in this, if I will go with let's say 39, then he would eliminate 3, 13, and what else? He doesn't have much to eliminate. But the problem is, why not go one step ahead and now switch my strategy and look in the lowest numbers here that will lose me the least, that have only a few factors. So in this, if I go with only 4, like the lowest number, it doesn't have any factors, so that's no point selecting it, because there's no available factor that he can select. So I would not go with 4, because that way I will lose so many of these numbers. But let's go see other numbers. So 6, okay, that's 2 and 3. That's very bad. Let's go with 8. Okay, that's not great either. 9 will lose me 3. It's not bad, but still, there's a lot of other numbers that can be lost with 3. If he selects 3, if I take 9, he will select 3, and that loses me a lot of other numbers. If I go with 10, loses me 5, it loses me 2, and that's a lot of other numbers. So I would say let's go and look at others. Just continue here. 12 loses me 6, and that's a lot of other numbers. If I go 14, okay, that loses me 2, and that loses me... Okay, that's actually a pretty good idea. As you can see here, if I take 14, I already lost 7, and I will only lose 2. So, but I will lose 2 anyway. Any of these numbers if I select, and extras. I will lose not only 2, but other numbers as well. So on my strategy, I took 14 because he does have like 7 already. All right, I took 14 and he took 2. That's a low number to take. If I would go with higher number, he can potentially take higher numbers. So if I took 15, he would take 5. He would take higher numbers from this list. All right, so let's go and apply this strategy from the start again. If I take 6, he would take 3. All right, that's not bad, no. If I would take 6 and he takes 3, that's still very low. He still goes on this lowest lowest line. He still has available number. So let's take 6 again. Here. It did clear a few numbers that were divisible by 3, but still I got my 6 and he only got 3. So let's keep going here. 8 will lose me only 4 because 2 times 4 is 8 and there's no other numbers. So yeah, let's go with 8. Now let's go with 10 because he does have 5. There's no other numbers available here, but 5 is all we need. So let's take 10. And the thing is, if I just go with 18, he does have 9. But the problem with taking 18 is there's a lot of other numbers here left that would be cleared. So my idea is let's go jump a little bit, because if I go with 18, a lot more of these big numbers will be destroyed, will be unavailable, like 36 and all that. Let's go with 30. If I go with this line here, then you can try one number after another, and you can see that they're going to lose me a lot more numbers. So if I take 22, he would take 11, and that would destroy 44, for example. If I take 24, will lose me 48, and all that kind of stuff. But if I take 30, what would do that? It will lose me 3. That's already lost. It will lose me 10. But the lowest number it's going to destroy, it's 15. And let's take that, because 15 is still a very low number. I would take much higher number, double the number. So let's go with that. My strategy is probably not the absolute best strategy. I'm not sure, but it did work very well. So hope you understand my reasoning. I'm not prolific in English, to be honest. I'm not very good at explaining stuff, but how I went through this game trying to explain you my logic maybe can be confusing, but just read the rules first. It may be confusing from the start by just not taking time to read the rules and start and putting first yourself into your thought how the game works. But let's continue here. So we are at one point now on which we start again. We just need to select another number. So I did select 30 with reasoning that I will lose some low number, but this low number doesn't have many multiples. So that's no problem to lose 15. Okay, so we did lose 30. The next number is 32. All right. All right, we have 33 as well. Let's keep going. Doesn't lose me much. 34 doesn't lose me much. 36. 38. All right. 39. 40. But basically, I just take the highest number now. He doesn't have much of them. So there we go. 46, 48, and 50. And you can see I did win this one. Let's go down so you can see better. All right, so I did beat him. Let's take a moment here. If you look at the numbers, he took pretty much most of the numbers he took, but I took most of these higher numbers, and that's the key to the win. Take as much as possible of these high value numbers, because at the end of the day, you cannot take half of the numbers, because you already have one at the start, and every turn you take, he takes one number. So you will always end up with less numbers. So it's just good to have as much as possible of these highest numbers. So try to develop strategy on your own, how you can save as much of these numbers as possible. Also the last round and the second to last round, because they're very important in this game. I did manage to save 50, 49, 48, 47, and 46, which is really great. I couldn't save 45 because it does have a lot of factors. 43, it's a prime number, and I decided let's go with 47 because it makes more sense to have high number. Just to select the highest prime number, that's the most sense. That's the easiest pick. The easiest pick of this game is select the highest prime number. But for the second pick, you just need a little strategy. It's good to think, if I go with the lowest number, just to clear, well, I don't have many factors to leave open. So if I take 2, he would take 3, and that's a lot more numbers he would take out for me. So, but anyway, there you go. That's how I play the game. Enjoy the gameplay. If you didn't follow my my strategy, if I lost you there, but yeah, that's all. Give it a try and leave in comments how did you do. If you develop any different strategies, share it to the world there. Try to explain better than I did, or maybe try to write in comments how my strategy would actually go if you just put it in the more reasonable sense, in more reasonable sentences. Yeah. All right, that's all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Bye.